be able to understand better this detail inside a form of life that could be general inside the genetic expansion that they pronounce, and they say those ones that have taken existence for this reason in this cortex, saying specialists of digits study and they go accumulating in it the intellectual thing necessary, not only of information of the facts, but of saying corteges. It is necessary for this to think as corteges that making it so. It goes with the own studies in this. It is where the connections are slight as same cables, so living from an angle of the information, all form of value of information is the same cortege. A quantum cortege is as a mantle or a handkerchief of same lure of information. So from the optics where one can see everything, it is needed to understand everything from that optics that well could be for some to feel another intelligence type inside or his, that this will not be neither well. It will be rather excellent, but it doesn't have to be a surplus when the encounter of your own intelligence takes place. Let us say with a particle of intelligence of the nebula, of another intelligence of Mars, that rather that a two share until it can turn out a two research of the repeated facts of polydremos that have become intelligence of Mars. A quantum intelligence, when it enters to the narrow margin of the narrow power of an intelligence, binary polydremata, it is when you as digit can feel the cerebral presence, but not in fact as human brain, but as brain of Mars for it. Is it that it lives of the studies they make that the particles of HAZY as quacheras take the roots of used powers in useless and etemanes, let us already say, to the skies of the studies, so that it's been able to accommodate already the intelligence of Mars. To understand when you can exchange a thought of Mars with a terrestrial thought, it is when you can diversify a single opinion that before one had of the things. It is to understand that those things inside the own opinion will already also have to take the weight of the opinion of the brain of Mars as an attached to the one that have already without. For that reason they discard the same term of brain completely, until it could be said that the useful of the same one comes of the culture of Mars, when the same one was before the before. To think as if it was being on Mars, it will be a lot to request to a human brain, but it will be also a great effort for the brain of Mars. So it is until it could be a real laundry of brain, the one that will be making in the net with the video, but inside the material to use or the matter to use for that laundry from the same nebula of the cortege. This you cannot suppose that it is intelligence. When a thought of Mars has been had first, they will have to be quite awake to wake up inside any dream, because the dream of an inhabitant from Mars is much heavier because it works inside the nebula, and there is not way to wake up sane to this nebula. So having as programming another alteration for can that one has a gain, and that gain is rather a gain of power that of winning something. To dominate the memes, the media, it is part of a watchword and of a methodology. One methodology level that has been used always like part in a way to dominate the minds in the binary thing. At least is the subliminal thing that has understood each other and extended in the binary codes. But it's not what we propose, it is what has to be, but always following the corresponding steps, not only to understand it to the method, but to the power to also describe it according to the circumstance will demand it. For that reason, the discipline of all continues being the most important thing to take and to understand in this methodology.